This is John Paul Wright. I'm coming from Tokyo, Japan. This video might actually get me in trouble, but this is something I've been thinking for quite a while now, and we hear the whole thing, go woke, go broke. You know, all corporations care about is money, but logically, things they're doing point in the opposite direction. Things they're doing seems like they're playing games. Political politics in movies, gender politics, now sexual politics in ad campaigns. It seems like they have a greater motive than just simply making money. And the reason I say that is because they could have the best of both worlds, okay? They could play their gender politics and things like that, but also have the movies good. They could make, for example, with Star Wars, Rey a powerful, awesome female Jedi, but also have Luke awesome. They don't have to put down one to bring up the other, and this is what makes me really suspicious. So, I'm starting to think what this guy, Rosh V, is saying, whoever he is, seems like a cool blog or whatever, and yeah, I'm thinking these corporations here are not all out for money. Some are more than others, but it seems some really have some alternate motives. Alright, here we go. I'm going to read some of this, so I think it's interesting. For the longest time, I believe that corporations existed simply to make money for their owners and shareholders, which I think a lot of us did. I did, but like I said, I'm trying to think out of the box here. They are the basis of free market capitalism that produces economic growth and an improved standard of living for everyone. Without them, we'd be impoverished, lacking in soul-nourishing jobs and meaningful consumer products. I no longer believe this to be the case. Corporations are actually the main vehicle that the elites use to control and enslave humanity. Okay, some might call this a conspiracy theory, something like that, but I think what he's saying makes a lot of sense, especially when you map it onto Hollywood and a lot of the videos in my genre, thoughts in my genre, things like that. The world's first corporations, the Dutch East India Company and the British East India Company, were created to establish trade with the Far East. They just wanted to make a bit of money from spices and other exotic goods, right? But look at what they accomplished. Subjugation, mass killing, the enslavement of local peoples, and a persistent system of divide and conquer rule over many centuries. So let's divide and conquer. Let's have these SJWs in society, and these left wings and right wings, and have everybody all split up and fighting. Let's have men fight women. Let's have all these women say in traditionally men's movies, oh, women are better than men. Let's stir them up. And that's really what's happening. They're stirring us up. They want us to fight each other, and we are. Everyone's falling for it. The only problem is we want good entertainment, so it's a little bit of a catch. The real objective was power. Money was only needed to fulfill that end. The corporations work with the government, but also separate from it to achieve its power objective in a way that was more efficient, more nimble, and less costly than if the government acted alone. So he gets into a little analogy here about the spider, and I'm going to explain that, and he also mentions someone familiar, Gillette. And he tries to explain why Gillette is making these transgender ads, these controversial things, when they're a razor company. And I was thinking this. I said this. Why is Gillette doing this? It's just weird is what I said. You know, it's not this push for equality that they care so much. That's what they want certain people to think. So the people who kind of call it out are going to fight with those people who think Gillette's honest in being white knights, and that's exactly what happens. I came to the conclusion that corporations had to be about human control when examining how most companies of the Fortune 500 go against basic principles of profitability and business sense to virtue signal for marginal audiences like homosexuals and transvestites that comprise only a tiny part of their business. Only a tiny part of their business. Exactly what I said. Gillette published propaganda against their own male customers. Athletic company Nike hired a spokesperson, Colin Kaepernick, who is more known as a race complainer than an athlete. Family-friendly retail chain Target changed its policy to allow tranny men to use female bathrooms. Coffee company Starbucks is now belittling its most white customers with Black Lives Matter wokeness. So yeah, he gives a few examples for that, and obviously the familiar one to me is Gillette, and this is exactly what I said in my video that a lot of people hated. You know, I said, why are they conforming to a very, very small part of their customer base? It doesn't make sense. And so many people are tricked into thinking, oh, Gillette's such a good company now. They care about transgender issues. They don't give a flying F-U-C-K about transgender issues. They want us to be fighting, and that's exactly what people did. They fought my video or other videos about Gillette, claiming that, Gillette was this white knight and they cared about transgender issues. They don't. They're targeting a small portion of their customer base to piss off the larger customer base. Why? It's not like 100% clear, but it's something about controlling the way we think, and that's making sense. And now that I can kind of see it clearly, I feel a little bit better. So he has a theory here about this spider. It's kind of like this invisible thing that's kind of got a hold of, I guess you could say, business, the world, the people, something like that. And this touches base with things about boycotts, petitions, things you see people doing a lot who are displeased with entertainment especially. Okay, let's have a petition to change the end of Game of Thrones. Let's have a petition to get rid of Batwoman. Let's have a petition to get rid of Brie Larson or whatever it is. But that stuff in the end is probably not very useful. The spider laughs at your attempt to boycott one of its companies because it doesn't need your money. The point of the corporation is not to make money. It is to control you. Every dollar it makes strengthens the corporation for its main objective to render you harmless to a spider that aims for everlasting rule and power. Your puny boycotts, activism, and petitions have no effect on him or them, because once a corporation has started to flex its muscles, it has already achieved near monopoly status in its sector. Only when it's in the early process of cementing its power does it seem to act like a business that cares about profit. But when it is past that stage, and most big brands like Gillette and Google have, get ready for them to bludgeon you over the head with sodomy and other forms of degeneracy. While we can't see the spider, we surely can feel the effects of its web, which is funneling us into accepting what amounts to a rootless, sterile, and autonomized life. I wouldn't worry about giving your money to corporations, since technically they have little use for it. What's more important is being aware of which belief or behavior the corporation wants you to perform, or the belief or behavior that they are concealing from you, as is often the case with the censorship efforts of the media in Silicon Valley. What is the corporation nudging me to do? Eat poison food? See the family as an archaic? What is that word, man? Archaic? Archaic? Probably, see the family as something negative. Inject my child with harmful chemicals. Be distracted with hedonism or pleasure. Be obsessed with anal sex. Okay, I didn't say that. Just let's pretend that's not there. Feed the most damaging parts of my ego. These are the questions I must ask with everything I purchase and every idea I believe that is encouraged by a large corporation. Use corporate products and services to live your life in a healthy way, but if you blindly follow global corporations and see them as being moral, is exactly what I'm saying about Gillette. If you see them as being some moral saviors, oh, we're Gillette, we're awesome, or in the service of social good, you will be steered into a self-destructive lifestyle that separates you from the natural order and moral living. Like a lot of people like-minded like me say, common sense. You'll be separated from common sense. Common sense says Gillette should not be pandering to 0.1% of their customer base. It's okay if they include them in ads, but don't have an exclusive ad saying transgenders are awesome, we love them. Sorry, that's suspicious. It doesn't make too much sense. You have to think about it. Don't just assume Gillette loves these people, cares about them. Don't just assume Budweiser now cares about gay pride, this and that, asexual pride. They don't. They're stirring something up. They're trying to just control thoughts, put people against each other. That's what it is. That's the fact of the matter. Always remember that corporations don't care about your money as much as they care about controlling you. That's it. That's what they want. They have money. So what they need is control. What they need are the minds going along with the picture, going along with what they want them to go along with. Because the money really, really is secondary at this point. Disney has over $250 billion. So a 50 million, 100 million, whatever, loss for Solo doesn't really mean so much to them. So if episode 9 has some kind of like agenda-based issue where Rey does something incredible and, all the men are left dead or something, that's more important to them than making the extra, small, tiny profit margin off episode 9 to them. Or Terminator 6 is a good example. If they want to say, hey, your hero from childhood is dead, you guys, and now, look who we got. We got a chick in his place. How does that feel? That's what they want you to feel. They care about how you feel about that. They don't care about the profit for it because it's not going to make a lot of profit. We all know it. That's just how it is. Mark my words right here. Terminator 6 will not do so good. If they had John Connor in the movie, pick a good actor for John Connor. Maybe Christian Bale comes back. Christian Bale, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton. Bam! You'd have a smash hit. But they just take two unknown chicks to go along with Sarah Connor and John Connor's dead. Wow, you guys think that makes sense? I don't. So, yeah, this article, look, I can't say it's like 100%. We don't actually know, but it makes sense to me because what I see in Hollywood with the movie making, story manipulating, gender politics, all the bullshit doesn't make sense. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think down below. I'm doing, well, entertainment stuff, Star Wars, pop culture, stuff like that. Who knows? This might get me in trouble. I don't care. I think it's important. I'll see you next time.